Hello to all of you out there in YouTube land. This is a response to LawnBoysPost1975 and his question, what games have you never played? Now if you haven't seen his original video, there is a link down below in the info pane where you'll see him tell you about 10 games, 10 well-known games that he has never played. And it made a really great video. And as soon as I saw it, I thought, this is something that's definitely worthy of a reply, because it's something I think about quite often. And it's one of the things that I really love about video gaming, is that from time to time I'll discover something that I've never played before, or sometimes something I've never even heard of. In fact, it's another thing that I really love about the YouTube gaming community, because by watching your videos and other people's, I discover new things. Or even when there are comments left and feedback on my own videos, people post suggestions of things I should try out. So it's amazing to think that there are just so many great games out there that I've never played or that I've never even heard of. Yeah, and it's one of my favourite bits about being a video gamer. And the reason I wanted to post this because there are loads of games, loads of well-known titles that I've never played. So what I thought I'd do is I'd give you my list of what I consider my top 10 biggest holes in my gaming knowledge, the 10 probably most well-known titles that I haven't played, or at least well-known out of the ones that I actually know of. So what I've done is, what I'm going to do is start by telling you from the ones that I think are least well-known, although all of them are well-known, to the ones that probably everybody has played. They're the ones that I would probably be most criticised for never having tried. So, here we go. The first on this list is actually something that I bought a few months ago from Cash Converters for the bargain price of £5. So I can't say that I've never played it, because I have tried it. But the sequel, which is supposedly even better, I've never even seen, let alone play. And that is Arkham Asylum and the newer Arkham City. Now, I bought Arkham Asylum a few months ago for £5, and I put the disc in and I just checked that it worked. So I played the very, very beginning of the game, or more or less watched the beginning of the game, because there wasn't much playing to do. And then I decided, okay, I'm going to install it on my Xbox. And it got to, I think, 98% installation, and it just crashed. And I tried it again and again, and it didn't work. So I took the disc back, and they didn't have another copy of it, unfortunately. So I said to myself, okay, next time I see Arkham Asylum for £5, I will buy it. Haven't seen it at that price since then. £15? No problem. £10 sometimes, but £5, haven't seen it at that price. So I know it's worth more than £5, but I'm pretty cheap, so I'm going to wait until I can see it at that price and then get round to playing it. So that's number 10, although it was 2 games, but number 10. Okay, another one, this time is a game that I actually own, or at least, again, the first one of these, because it's again a sequel and a sequel of a sequel, and that is Gears of War 2. Yeah, I've got it, I've had it on my shelf for months. Again, it's another one that I'd said to myself, I'm going to pick this game up when I can find it for £5. And I did find it for £5. I got home, and it wasn't the game. Yeah, I did the stupid thing and didn't check the game in the shop. Got home and realised that it was actually Gears of War, I think it was either Gears of War or Gears of War 2 extra, like, bonus disc that had, I don't know, developer videos or something on it. It must have been out of a special edition version. It wasn't even the game. And I bought it, I didn't buy it from a place that was near to my home, so I couldn't be bothered to go back. But then a few months later I did find it again for £5, and which you can do in numerous places now. Bought it, still haven't played it. I did like the original Gears of War. I guess I just didn't love it enough to want to play Gears of War 2 or Gears of War 3 as yet. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to be playing it this year at some point. It's all part of my save money scheme. Don't buy new games, just play the ones you've actually got. So yes, Travesty, number 2 on my list of 10. Gears of War 2 and 3. Another game, another one I actually owned. This time I thought I was getting a great bargain, paid £10 for it, which doesn't seem a bad price. It's something that at the time everybody seemed to have, everybody was playing, and everybody was saying was absolutely fantastic, and that is Red Dead Redemption. Yeah, this one hasn't even been out of the box, disc hasn't been checked, hasn't been played at all in the slightest, which is probably a big mistake on my part, because I'm really missing out from pretty much everyone who I've seen review the game or just do a gameplay video or just mention it. They've said, oh, Red Dead Redemption is awesome. So I'll be playing that at some point this year as well. Okay, another one I've actually got and haven't played. Although I've only got one of these games, as there are many in this series, so it's not a game, but it's a series of games that I haven't played any of, and that is Fallout. I haven't played the original Fallout on the PC, Fallout 2, whatever, was that a PC only game? I'm not entirely sure. Fallout 3, haven't played it. Fallout New Vegas, no, haven't even seen it, don't know what it's like. And I know I'll like it. I know it's definitely my kind of game, but I know it's going to be something that's going to require a lot of time being invested in it. And just as yet, haven't taken it down off the shelf and played it. I know, it's ridiculous. All of these great games I've actually got and I haven't played yet. So, there we go. Now, the next game, or 2 games in fact, I've kind of put these 2 together, although they're not of the same franchise, but they are connected and can be bought on an HD collection on the PS3 now, and that is Aiko, or Aiko, however you pronounce it, I don't know because I've never played it, and Shadow of the Colossus. Now these are games that when they were out on the PlayStation 2, I'd never even heard of them. They didn't even appear on my gaming radar until I think last year or the year before, and when I discovered them, when I found out that they existed, they were more expensive than I was willing to pay for a PlayStation 2 title, and since finding out about them, every time I've been to a car boot sale or been to a place that's got PlayStation 2 games, I've always looked for these games and have never seen them at less than about £15. And the same on eBay. I think although I did see Aiko for £10.99 the other day on That's What I Call Entertainment.co.uk, and I was very tempted to buy it, but I'm a bit skint at the moment, so I'll have to wait. Maybe I'll just go ahead and buy the HD pack at some point, but I definitely want to play those 2 games, because again, they're both games that I've heard a lot of good things about, and it's a travesty that my knowledge of PlayStation 2 titles is lacking, that I don't have the experience of playing either of those. Now, the next game or again, series of games that I haven't even had or played is the Donkey Kong Country series. I think by the time it came out on the Super Nintendo, I'd already moved on to another system by then. It was probably, I guess, PC or something else that I was playing at that time, maybe PlayStation 1. And so I just never got round to playing Donkey Kong Country, and I think it's an absolute travesty. I saw a really good gameplay video the other day that Chris Madder 9, or Chris Madder Games as that channel is, that he'd done, and it looks like such an awesome game, and I know loads of people go on about how fantastic it is, but I've never played it. I've never played it, and I think that is terrible. So I just haven't got round putting such a fantastic game in my Super Nintendo. Yeah, the Donkey Kong Country games. How could I have missed out on those? But I did. Okay, so we're getting pretty close to the top of the list now. Number 4, or number 4 from the top, is again another series of games, one of which I actually have, one of which I was lent but put in the machine and just looked at the very beginning of it but didn't really play. So I suppose technically I have played one of the series, but it's probably the most popular ones that I haven't played, and that is the Elder Scrolls games. So I've got a copy of Oblivion. It's an absolute travesty that I've never played this game. I bought it a few months ago, probably a year ago now, when I wanted to play BioShock. It just so happened that the shop I got it from, you could get BioShock for £6, or you could get BioShock and Elder Scrolls in double disc set for £6. So, no brainer really. Played BioShock, loved BioShock. Didn't even put Oblivion into the Xbox. Yeah, should have done really, because I've heard many good things about it. I couldn't say that I've never played the series, to be honest, because I have actually had a look at Morrowind. To say I've played it is a massive overstatement. I put it into my Xbox and I think I played about half an hour of it. Wasn't that blown away by it. Obviously, half an hour is never enough time to get into an RPG. Never went back to it, gave it back to the friend that I borrowed it off, and never really thought too much about playing an Elder Scrolls game until Skyrim came out, and I didn't play that either. No, haven't played Skyrim, didn't buy it when everyone else rushed out and got it, but I do want to. I've heard a lot of good things about it, despite all of the bugs. It's supposed to be awesome. But yeah, Elder Scrolls. Fantastic series of games as far as I'm aware. Oblivion hasn't been played yet. Travesty, massive gaping hole in my gaming knowledge there, or gaming experience. So I'll be picking that one up and putting it in the Xbox 360 at some point this year, like so many of these other games. Well, the next 2 games on my list are ones from a much older generation of systems, and well, ones that I really should have played by now. I mean, it's disgraceful that I haven't tried these games, and the first of them is Metroid. Yeah, the Metroid games really do seem like something that at the time they came out, when the original Metroid was current gen, would have been something I would have been all over. But I didn't have an NES at the time, didn't get an NES till quite a bit later, and never played it. But even when I had a Super NES, or a Super Famicom as it was, I didn't play it then either. Haven't played even a second of any of the Metroid games. So I've really got that to look forward to, because they are supposed to be relatively special. And I'm sure all of you guys have played them. And I'm sure you're going to be telling me, you fool, what are you doing not playing Metroid? But I'll get it at some point. I'm sure I can pick up a original Metroid for a fairly reasonable price. There must be a million of them floating around on the internet. It wasn't exactly a rare title. But there's another NES game that I haven't played, aside from the Mario games, which I have played, 1 and 2. I haven't played Mario 3. Super Mario Brothers 3, one of the greatest games ever created. I haven't played that, but that's not on my list, because I have played the other 2 Mario games, and I have played lots of other Mario games. But I've never played Zelda. Never. Never played any of them. Haven't played the first game, haven't played Link to the Past, haven't played Ocarina of Time, although I have seen it played. A friend of mine had it and he's like, you've got to play this game, you've got to play this game. He showed it to me. Ocarina of Time. Ocarina of Time. He wouldn't even let me have a go. Yeah. I was allowed to watch it, wasn't allowed to play it. So I've seen that being played for about half an hour. That's as much Zelda experience as I've got. And why haven't I played it? I loved Ys on the Master System. Well, it was one of my favourite titles. Wish I still had that one, but sold that years ago. More recently I've played Phantasy Star on the Sega Master System, and I really like that, so I'm sure Zelda would be something that I get a lot of fun out of. And I will get it, maybe not this year, maybe next year. I want to go right back to the beginning and play whatever the first one's called. The Legend of Zelda, I guess. was the first one. So yes, I haven't played that, but I will. Now, there's one more game that I haven't played that it seems like everybody has played, and thousands, if not millions of people are playing to this day, that are totally wrapped up and totally absorbed in it. And I won't play it purely because I know I'll like it. And the worst thing about liking it is it will destroy my life. It will ruin my life. It will suck me into a computer-shaped hole and keep me there for a long, long time. And I'm not willing to give up all the other gaming experiences and all the other life experiences just for one game. And that game, you might have guessed it already, is World of Warcraft. Oh my God, how many stories have I heard of people's relationships being destroyed, or friendships being destroyed, or just lives being destroyed by World of Warcraft. On the other hand, I've heard loads of really good experiences about World of Warcraft, it being just an amazing, amazing online experience. But I've never played it. I've never seen it played. The closest I've got to World of Warcraft was watching a bit of it on YouTube. That's it. That's my World of Warcraft experience. Haven't even played any of the Warcraft games. I don't know. Not Warcraft 1 or 2, or is there a Warcraft 3? I think the older RTS strategy games. No, never played them. So, World of Warcraft, Zelda, Metroid, Elder Scrolls 4 and 5, Donkey Kong Country, Aiko, Shadow of the Colossus, the Fallout series, Red Dead Redemption, the 2 of the Gears of War games, and the Arkham Asylum / Arkham City games. Haven't played any of those, and I'm sure many of you are laughing at me for not having played some of the greatest games ever to hit consoles and computers. But that means I've got them all to look forward to, so I think I'm the lucky one here. I love new gaming experiences, even if they are old games. Coming across new things and experiencing them for the first time is one of the great experiences of video gaming. So, well, I'd love to know what you haven't played. But I don't want you to tell me. I want you to tell LawnBoy. I want you to, if you're going to make a video response, respond to his video. Go and post comments, although I'm sure most of you have already, because LawnBoy is pretty well known in the gaming community circles. So, thank you very much for watching. This video has been a little bit longer than I anticipated, but thankfully much shorter than the last one I did. So, from my spare room to wherever you are, this is Simon signing off. Bye bye.